So, Battle Angel Alita, will we be getting a sequel? It's long been rumoured, long been teased. And now it seems like we're getting a little bit more of a glimmer of hope. And actually, I guess you could say a bit more of a firm reason as to why it hasn't happened as yet. Which is all to do with the Disney Fox acquisition. It's not a no-brainer, I guess. A lot of people thought it was to do with the taking of Alita Battle Angel, which didn't do particularly great, I'm not going to lie. Although a good film, I really enjoyed Alita Battle Angel. It's very earnest in its approach and things like that, and I do appreciate a good earnest film. But yes, it didn't do particularly great, sadly, but it does seem that it's all to do with the Disney Fox acquisition. Now, what we got today are actually some comments from Robert Rodriguez on, well, Alita Battle Angel, but it's also in an interview about the Book of Boba Fett and the Mandalorian, stuff like that. So that's what we're going to be diving into today. We'll just scoot that over so you don't get glare of the brightness going on there. So this is courtesy of the Nerdy Basement. There's a big article here, but I'm just pinpointing very specifically the Alita Battle Angel commentary. And it is quite interesting. It's interesting stuff, I think, personally. Now, they say that 20th Century Fox released Alita Battle Angel, a film that Robert Rodriguez directed back in 2019. This is actually quite important stuff, so just as a bit of background, we will cover it. Alita became Robert Rodriguez's highest-grossing film in his career, which is actually quite surprising, to be perfectly honest. While the box office stats of Alita Battle Angel has been up to debate, some saying it broke even, with others claiming the film came in at a loss. I would imagine it did come in at a loss, quite frankly, but some films are accepted as a loss, and they're considered fine as a loss, which is crazy because films are a business, but never mind. Now, they say that they've used the box office numbers as the reason for the sequel never being greenlit, and a pair of these box office numbers, a mixed critic and fan reception, and Disney's acquisition of 20th Century Fox, and all hope for Alita Battle Angel sequel is basically lost. You know, when you just combine it all, nah, not happening. However, here's where we get some hope, ladies and gents. And I want a sequel to this. I want a sequel. I would genuinely enjoy a sequel, I think. But not for Robert Rodriguez and the Alita army that has been clamouring for the film to get a sequel. Even Alita Battle Angel star Rosa Salazar has encouraged fans to keep pushing and supporting the film so the numbers go up, and then obviously hope that a sequel, will get made, goes up and up and up. Rodriguez is fully aware of the Alita army and has seen their pleas for the film, and he says, and I quote, "They're incredible, the Alita army. Every time I open my social media, there are so many messages." So that's cool. It's nice that we get the acknowledgement there. And the background's important. Obviously, commentary on James Cameron and things like that, somewhat left out of here, but we will get to that in a moment. But it is nice that he is acknowledging the Alita army, the group of fans basically, besetting Disney, saying make a sequel, but they do it in a really peaceful way, so it's fine. I don't really see the issue there. You can have people clamouring for a sequel in a very nonchalant sort of fashion. I think they've done really well. However, here we go. So the Nerdy Basement, they asked Robert Rodriguez if there has been any new developments or updates on the possibility of an Alita Battle Angel sequel, and what can the Alita army do to make what seems like a lost dream a reality. And he says, and I quote, and this is the interesting stuff, "I'm hoping I'm earning some points by doing so much for Disney, because they own it now. They bought Fox, and that's why we weren't able to jump right into the sequel, because of that whole thing. But now they are starting to release some of the Fox stuff." Now, a few things to point out here. This confirms what I thought about what Ridley Scott was doing. So he knew that the Disney Fox acquisition was occurring, and he wanted to obviously continue to make Alien products, and so he signed up to do a whole bunch of Merlin films for Disney. Seemed like a really weird left field thing for Ridley Scott to do. I'm going to make Merlin films. Okay, fine, sure. That's what you're into all of a sudden. We know you've got a, like a raging hard on for androids and stuff, but you're fine. Sure, you love Merlin all of a sudden. No, he was doing that to get curry favour and earn points with Disney, much like Robert Rodriguez is saying here. Makes perfect sense. But it also says quite clearly that's why they weren't able to jump into a sequel. So it may have even been discussed at Fox that they were going to possibility do a sequel. So that's good. That's actually positive stuff. This is news in a good direction. Now he says further on, I quote, "I'm trying to see what happens with Boba Fett. I think that's going to knock people's socks off. So when that happens, I will go in and say, okay, I've been here for a while. Let's figure out how we can do Alita, whether it's for streaming or theatrical release, because it's such a great property. People love it. I love it. And Jim loves it," James Cameron. "We, Robert and James, just talked about it recently again, about how we can do this. What's the best way to approach it? I think it'll be me going in there with him to talk about it, because I'm doing a lot of stuff for them, Disney, now." So it's interesting, isn't it? Even James Cameron doesn't have weight with Disney. You actually, and again, this seems to be confirmation, again, much like what Ridley Scott's had to do, work for them for a little while, build up that sort of, in-house credit, because your name means nothing, apparently, at Disney, which makes sense when they can hire whoever they want, who will just make whatever they want without any hassle. Why would they deal with divas or auteurs? They're just not going to. So it seems even here, James Cameron has literally no weight at Disney, which is surprising because, of course, James Cameron is now going to be doing all of his Avatar movies from here to Kingdom Come, and they're now owned by Disney as well. But it seems to be that it will be Robert Rodriguez that goes in and does the discussing. Hey, I want to talk about this. Let's talk about it. I'm the one that's been doing stuff for you now, so let's go. And that actually does make a little bit more sense than James Cameron going in, because although James Cameron has been doing his Avatar films, that was all financed outside of Fox. If I remember rightly, there was some weird financing deals that made that a reality, because they're just so monumentally massive in terms of the budgets. So, I don't think Fox ever put up any money, and thus, ergo, Disney didn't put up any money. But here we go. So if the Alita army was looking for any glimmer of hope, then this is it. All it will take is for fans to really elevate the success of the Book of Boba Fett in order to give Rodriguez enough of a reason to go to the higher-ups in Disney to negotiate how to give the Alita army more from the franchise. And look, the thing is, most of the time you'd look at this with, I guess, some form of sort of skepticism, but not really, not with Robert Rodriguez. He's pretty down the line. He has been quite vocal about wanting to do sequels in the past. I don't see why we should look at this with a massive amount of skepticism. Oh, he's just saying this to get people to watch Book of Boba Fett. People are going to watch that anyway. Going to watch that anyway. But it does seem like he does want to make a sequel. So that's good. That is good. This is actually the first positive sign for a sequel in a long, long time. So there you go. What do you guys think? Let me know down below in the comment section. If you're new here, hit subscribe. You stay to the very end of the video, so you might as well. You clearly enjoyed it. And do hit that like button on your way out. If you want to support the channel further, we've got memberships as well as Patreon linked down below in the description box, along with a PO box. Check it out. Cheers though, guys. Take care.